Today we're checking out a recipe for grilled pork skewers with Thai-style hot sauce. So we have written this all out. It looks good to us, it sounds good to us, but today I'm going to actually make it, and that way we'll see if it tastes the way that we think it will. So this is part of the process of getting recipes from the page, our page, onto the book page.
At his home in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard-educated cookbook author Doc Willoughby tests a recipe for the new cookbook he's writing with restaurateur Chris Schlesinger, their 10th one together.
The idea here is that you cook the pork, you grill it, so you got nice tasting grilled pork, and then you just, it comes off the grill and you toss it in a bowl with all these other ingredients. So it's super simple. You can put everything together before the pork is done, so you just take it off the grill, toss it in there, and serve it. So that's the idea of this dish. The difference between cooking when you're writing a cookbook versus when you're not is when you're not, you just cook it, you like it, it's done, you're not going to make it again. But when you're writing a cookbook and you're cooking, you're testing recipes, which means you have to measure everything. You can't just put in a little salt, you have to measure it before you put it in. Everything is measured, everything is precise, and you have to write down all the times. It's a less adventurous way of cooking. Well, I just put in a 1/4 cup of fresh lime juice, and I've got a 1/4 cup of fish sauce in here, which honestly I think is too much, but this is Chris's recipe, so we're going to see. And I just added a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. We're going to put in about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of jalapenos. You know, people have a wide variety of tolerance for heat, but you want to give them some idea of what we think is the right amount. So we're using jalapenos because they're the easiest chilies to get a hold of. And we're saying, we think we're saying, the idea is that we're going to say 2 tablespoons. So for me, that's a little hot. But this is why Chris and I work well together. For me, that's a little too hot. For him, it's not nearly hot enough. So it's probably just about right. But it's also, you never would eat this, you would never eat this full strength by itself, right? You're going to put a whole lot of pork skewers in there, and it'll be very different. As you can see, it's hot.
The sauce calls for stalks of lemongrass, a classic Thai ingredient not available everywhere.
Some things are relatively inaccessible for people in some parts of the country. So we're trying to, in this book, pretty much use only ingredients that people can get easily, but something like lemongrass, you need it for this dish, so we're calling for it. Cooking with lemongrass, if you're going to use it to infuse the flavor, you can use it whole, but if you're actually going to eat it, which we're going to put it into the sauce here, so we're going to actually end up eating it, you can only use the inner part, the inner tender part of it, so you have to take out all the outer layers and then chop it up really fine. Most of cooking is chopping anyway. We're going to pretend that these are pork skewers. There, little skewers.
Chunks of grilled pork tossed with the sauce.
Much better. That's the way it's supposed to be used. It actually is not too hot for me now. It's got some spice, a lot of back of the throat heat, but that's good. So I don't know. I might put a little bit more sugar in it, but other than that, I think it's good. So this recipe is pretty much ready to go.